My mother says to me that funerals are for the people left behind. I profoundly disagree with that statement. I think that funerals should reflect and be about the person whose life they honour. Whether that means a celebration of the person's life or designing a ceremony to reflect the person's beliefs could be left up to the surviving relatives. But I kind of think that it shouldn't be. I kind of think that it's down to the individual to basically create their own funeral in advance. I've always thought that, and maybe more so now than before. I don't think that a lot of people truly understand the intricacies of my beliefs or how they change so rapidly well enough to be able to do this for me, if that makes sense. It's not a case of not trusting people to do it, it's a case of I don't think a lot of people know. I live on my own, so it's not like I share my life intimately every day with somebody else. So that brings me to what I want to talk about briefly in this blog today. Maybe as long as, 5 or 10 years ago, certainly before university, I used to keep a document. This document was known as ICOD, which is actually an acronym which stands for in case of death, or in the case of death. And it was a couple of pages of text that I'd written instructing what I wanted my parents or whoever to do in the event that I, expire. And that piece of paper, I don't know where it is now. It's been lost for some years. And I got to thinking with this video stuff that basically there's a very simple way around this problem of what should somebody do should something happen to me. And I decided that I should create an electronic ICOD. And that does several things. Firstly, you hear it straight from the horse's mouth, exactly, what I want. And more to the point, it's something that can be broadcast publicly, so there is little dispute, should there be any dispute, I don't know. There always is, isn't there, when people die? There's always dispute over what to do with the belongings or something like that. Sometimes it's natural. I'm at a stage now where I own more than I've ever owned before. And this is not just in terms of, possessions, but it's actually in terms of livestock, in terms of, legality with the house. And I really need to make a video explaining exactly what I want to happen in the event of my death, particularly in regards to my possessions, but also give a fair amount of choice as to what I want to happen at my funeral, and the music that I might want, and where to find it, possibly. I hope that none of you watching this will ever see the result of that, to be totally honest. Not that I should be around to know. But if you see that video, if that video is made public, it's because the obvious has happened. And so, that will be the end of that. But I would like that made public in the event that something happens to me, because I feel like living on my own, with nobody to talk to, blah blah blah. One of the nice things about this whole video idea, and in fact it goes back to why the videos, why I started doing videos in the first place, is that I can feel like I am speaking to people, and I do know that there are a collection of people who do watch these videos. It's not really a sort of narcissistic type sort of game. It's more a case of I would want to make sure that those people who do follow me knew what happened, if that makes sense. I don't want to vanish from the online scene and never be heard of again. I'd like people to know what sort of happens, what has become of me in that event. And knowing my family and the way that they are petrified of all things video, to expect them to be able to do that normally, let alone at a time of terrible pressure, is just stupid. So what's best is for me to do it myself, and then give them clear instructions on how to upload whatever, and so they don't need to worry too much about anything other than following what's in it. What I want to do, of course, as things change, is update. So I want to have checked over the video every 6 months when we do the solstice review, and just confirm that I've rechecked it and that it still stands, or make any additions to the end of it. And what I think I'm going to do, although I don't quite know how this will work, is I want to get a copy out at least to 2 people, one close by, one sort of far away, that can, in the event of something happening, be independent of the family and sort of have a copy, really. I don't know how I'll work that with the updates. Obviously getting a CD and making a DVD is no problem. The problem is with updating it. So what I might sort of try and do is have one thing and then change it maybe every 5 years. I don't know, that I haven't decided. But what I want to do is I want to sort that out this week. Because as you know, I am on my retreat holiday now, and that is one of several things that's going on this week. For a start, we are doing what we can with the windows this week in terms of sealing them to stop the rot in the frames that's happened and was happening before I bought the house, in fact, because we can't yet replace them. We're also hopefully doing our annual car boot sale, which has been a favourite for a number of years now. And that's hopefully happening next Sunday, all being well weather-wise. We always have a selection of dates, just in case the weather's not so good on the one day planned. I'm also going to Scarborough, as I said this last week, and no doubt there'll be a To the Ends of the Earth, a couple of videos or whatever with that, which is what I sort of do in my spare time anyway. So there's plenty of things to be doing. There is a major project, Project Springboard, which some people know about, some people don't, but I'm working on that majorly over this next week as well. That's quite important. That's part of the 5-year plan, which has been going. We're over halfway now, and of course the celebration, the yearly annual celebration of that, which coincides, of course, with the most important date on my personal calendar, also occurs this week. So, as well as the 1.5-year marker for purchasing the acquisition of this place, Markenfield. So there'll be a number of broadcasts throughout the week regarding those things. It's been a tough week. It has been a tough week, and a lot of that is to do with personal stuff, which I don't want to divulge really, and a lot of it is also to do with stuff that I can't speak about. So the only thing to really say on that issue is that it's been a really exhausting, quite mentally and psychologically draining week, rather than a sort of physically or emotionally. It's really sort of, there are several things that have happened this week that have sort of screwed with my head a little bit. No permanent damage has been done, I'm sure you'll be happy to know. But it's not been, I don't know, it just provides a lot of food for thought, considering some of the possibly life-changing things and plans that I will, draw up during this retreat holiday.